What's up? Welcome back to a new season of the Comedy Skateboarding Podcast. That's right, we're at season 2. Man, it feels good to be back. Let's go start season 2. Yeah, yeah. And make sure to hit that follow button. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and even on Spotify. Cool. Hey, what up, man? What's up, people? What's up, peeps? Yeah, it's been a while since I put a podcast out. Welcome to the Comedy Skateboarding Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1. I was on a little hiatus there for a moment, but I'm back. I just want to say to everybody who's been asking for the podcast. That truly does mean a lot to me because I've been getting DMs saying, "Where's the podcast? When's the next episode coming out?" And that truly does mean a lot. It just means that you guys are listening to the podcast, and it's awesome. And I also checked my the analytics, and we got some listeners in the UK, which is pretty cool. Cause in my analytics it shows like USA, and then it had the other flag, the UK flag, and I was like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. I have listeners out in the UK. I mean, that was pretty exciting. So shout out to my UK followers who's listening to the podcast. You guys are awesome. You guys are rocking with the pod. Many thank yous. So yeah, man. So back with the Comedy Skateboarding Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1. Also, I just want to say, today's guest, I have Donovan Beef Archambault. He's a Native American comedic from Poplar, Montana. Also, I just want to say, before we get started, I just want to give a big shout out to my mom on her birthday that she had over the weekend on Sunday. Happy birthday, Mom. I made a video for her. It's on the Comedy Skateboarding page on Instagram or Facebook. It was a little montage of of her and all the pictures that she took within I don't know, the year or two. But yeah, happy birthday, Mom. We all love you. Keep striving, keep doing good, keep pushing forward, stay strong, we love you. And I just want to say a big thank you to Spur Pryor. I'm sorry I didn't say his name right, or his last name right, but I just want to say a big thank you to him for the song that he made called Happy Birthday to You. It's on his latest album that he just dropped. You guys go make sure you go follow him on Instagram. Other than that, just haven't been doing much. Just kind of took a break from the podcast because it does get overwhelming. It does get a little bit of tiring at times too. But then I think about how people actually enjoy the podcast and DMing me asking where the podcast is and when the next episode is going to be. And then that just gives me more motivation to keep going with this. So I'm going to try my best to put out episodes every week again. But we'll see how that goes. But I'll definitely be putting out episodes here and there. It might not be every week like it was the past 2 months. So we'll see what happens. Just gonna go with the flow and see what comes of it. But yeah, today's guest is Native American comedic Donovan Beef Archambault. He's coming from Poplar, Montana. So let's give it up for Donovan Beef Archambault.
Think Creator that we made it this far, this far. Lost count of the battles I fought, I fought. You win some, you lose some, baby, don't stop, don't stop. I know that the sun shine bright after dark, after dark.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Automotive Skateboarding Podcast. Today I have Donovan, Beef, Archambault. Did I say that right?
Archambault.
Archambault. I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, we have native comedian Donovan here. And yeah, man, what's up, man? How you been? How's life?
Life's good, man. Thanks for having me. It's we're down here in Phoenix this weekend doing a comedy show, the Native American Comedy Jam at the Wild Horse Pass Casino. And that's tomorrow night at 8:00. Actually, don't quote me on the time. I don't know what time it is. I know it's tomorrow though. But yeah, man, it's been good.
Awesome, man. Yeah, man. Like, I barely saw the flyer for the show for tomorrow night's show, and I was like, damn, if I knew already, I would have like bought some tickets. But then, luckily, like I was telling you earlier through Instagram that I guess Tony Joha went live, and there were a couple people that were selling tickets. So I was like, oh hell yeah! So I snagged 2 tickets for tomorrow night's show. So I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, man. I think when was it? Tuesday or Wednesday, they end up selling out the show. I don't know how big the venue is. I thought Mike said 1,400 seats. But yeah, that was that was pretty cool because last weekend we were in Farmington, New Mexico, and we were pretty close to selling that place out. It was like a few seats left. I forget what it was, like 20, 30 seats or whatever. But we were pretty close to selling that place out too. So.
Oh wow, damn, yeah, like in the native community, like it's cool that seeing natives supporting natives and especially through comedy and that's something like we need nowadays. It's like laughter, and I feel like laughter is like good medicine because with everything going on there in the world, and it's just like we need that good medicine, that laughter. And it's awesome coming from like native indigenous comedics like you guys. So it's pretty awesome. This is going to be my first native comedic show that I'm going to go to, so I'm pretty excited about that.
You never been to a native comedy show?
Yeah, I've never been to a native comedy show. This is going to be my first one.
That's crazy, man, because they got quite a bit of native comedians down here in the Southwest, man. Like you got 49 Laughs, Tatanka Means, and that whole crew, James and Ernie, Adrian Chalepa. Yeah, man, they got a lot of talent down here. I think Tito Hoover. I thought he was from down this way. I'm not sure if I'm wrong. Please forgive me, Tito. But no, there's quite a bit of talent down here in the Southwest, and as to your comment before, like it is good to see natives supporting natives. Especially in this time that we're going through. We're just coming out of COVID and all of the things that we've had to deal with in that, and it's just it's a crazy world right now, man. We're just trying to integrate back into the reality of life and what that looks like, and adopting new norms and trying to get back to old ones and things like that. And so it's definitely a time that where laughter is needed, and it's it's a good thing to see natives from all over picking up that art. I really like to see that and encourage that. I was just back home in Fort Peck. They were there's a few up and comer comedians up there that were reaching out and asking for just kind of like support and like, how do I go about doing this and things like that. And I always want to offer like my, the only not that I'm just, seasoned veteran or anything like that, man. I'm still, I'm still learning my way around too. But, to just share what little bit I do know with anybody that could use, that kind of advice or information or whatever you want to call it. And like in the beginning part of it, a big part of it is just like it's stage time. That's really where it resides. Like the more stage time you can get, the more you can stand in front of a crowd, even if it's only 5 people. Do it. Just get comfortable with being out there and vulnerable and being, open to judgment and criticism and things like that. And just get familiar with that, like be comfortable with that. And the other part of it is material, like write, every single day, write, man. I don't care if you think it's funny or not, or just any idea that comes to you, write and, start building off of that, man. That's really kind of the gist of it, like just get your material lined out and then get on a stage any chance you get.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. Like you said, like supporting natives and everything like that, and you like showing the ropes and teaching these younger comedians or rising influencers or anything like that. Like you're not keeping a secret to yourself. Like some people do. Like they would like not tell you how to do something, or they just keep it to themselves. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool you're that you're out there teaching them and showing them like, yo, this is what I did. Maybe you can do it different and stuff like that. That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, man, and it's only solicited advice. Like it's only people that come to me. I'm not out there, like just offering advice to people that don't ask for it. I've
Yeah,
never really been a fan of that. Like, because if someone wants help, they'll hey man, like they'll reach out and ask. And I don't feel like it's my place to, go tell someone, oh, hey, good set, but man, here's what you got to do. Hey, you got to, and then just start critiquing them right there. Like, if they ask for it, I'll be glad to offer it. But,
yeah, man. Has anybody ever came up to you and like critiqued you on your comedy?
oh, yeah, man, I've had a handful of people. Like, I'll get done with the set. And, they were, like, from what I thought, like, it was going good. And then they'd say, man, you gotta do this, you gotta do more of that, you gotta, and I never really felt like their advice was my style. And that's the thing about this, like stand up, it's an art. And it's like it's like a television channel. Like there's so many different channels out there, and they speak to everyone in different ways. And I don't watch a channel because I don't like every channel, but I'm not calling that channel going, hey man, you need to show more football games. This channel sucks, man. Like, like that's their style. That's how they do. And if they want my advice, I feel like they would reach out to me, but I don't offer that, unsolicited advice. Just kind of show up and tell people what I think they're doing wrong because, I don't know, man. Like I don't know. That's just and everyone probably don't feel the same way, but like that's just the way I feel about it.
Yeah, yeah, man. Shit. Well, again, like I said, glad that you're on the podcast. And how was your how was your flight?
Always good, man. I was up since I got up at 5:30 this morning. I jog every morning. That's kind of my thing. It's cheaper than going to therapy. So
Oh,
um,
true.
I was up. I got my run in this morning. I think my flight left Billings at 10:50 or something like that. So I got parked at the airport. Got checked in. Got on the flight. Then there was a layover in Denver, and it was God, it was like probably an hour and a half layover. It wasn't bad. I mean, considering in the scheme of things, like there's been a lot of canceled flights and a lot of, I don't know, like flying this year is crazy for some reason, like more so than years past. Like I've never ran into so many delays or cancellations or um but yeah, no, we finally got down here. I think I got down here at just 4:11 or something like that. But no,
Yeah.
man, we got here and it was good. This is a nice resort, man. Big old swimming pool downstairs. There's a guy from the Suns. There's gonna have a pool party here tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Ah, that's crazy. I ran into one of my colleagues downstairs in the lobby, Tanya Jo Hall, and Beatrice. She was checking in
Yeah.
same time, and I seen her, and she didn't see me, and I was like, Tonya, hey Tonya, and I was messing with her, and then she finally seen me, and I was like, hey, what's up, man? And they gave her a wristband to go to that party, and she was the one who told me about it, and yeah, I don't know. I didn't. The person that checked me in though didn't give me a wristband, so I kind of got offended by that. I was like, "What? Am I too ugly to go to the pool party, or how come I don't get to go?" But
So did you get a wristband?
no, I still didn't get one. I'm gonna crash it though.
You
I'm gonna
did it?
anyway, man. They ain't keeping me out.
Yeah, yeah, go crash that party tomorrow.
I'll make my own
What
wristband.
time?
I'll get in there.
Oh yeah. So what we need to do make our own stuff and just sneak in somehow.
We used to like at fairs they have those, those wristbands or whatever, and then
Yeah.
whenever like we get it kind of wet, and then we try to soften it up and then we try to squeeze out of it, and then we'd find whoever had the loosest tied one, like we'd squeeze it on and off, and then we just like take turns going on rides and stuff, man. Anyway,
Yeah, I remember those. Now they have those wristbands where they like click it together and it's actually locked in.
yeah, I know those, but even those too, you can manipulate those too. If you're from the res, like the dirty res, you know how to manipulate those.
Thanks. Yeah, dude. So introduce yourself. Tell us about where you're from and what tribe you come from.
Yeah. Hold on, yeah. So my name's Donovan, Beef Archambault. Um, I'm enrolled in Fort Belknap, Montana, which is in north central Montana. I currently reside on the Fort Peck Reservation, which is in north eastern Montana. And I have my wife and I have three daughters. And oh God, let me see here. I've been doing stand-up comedy for the past 11 years. Since 2011, I've been doing stand-up. Um, and I was until recently. I currently work for myself. Um, my company name is Beef Comedy LLC, and it's a consulting entertainment. Because I do work for the Fort Peck tribes also under contract. Like right now, I have a contract to work with the youth, and it's got a focus on cultural teachings and values. So we do things like we go out and we harvest wild turnips or choke cherries or June berries or sage, single stem sage. And in doing these things, there's teachings behind all of that. Um, you know, like like general life teachings, like patience and like things like that,
Yeah,
and what it takes to because those items, they don't always show themselves to you, and they're not always available to you, but they teach things like humility and discipline and things that serve you in life, things that things that will just that should be taught inside the family circle, but maybe this day and age they're not. A lot of our kids are struggling, and they don't have that family structure. So anyway, like I work with the Fort Peck tribes to do that, and I'm also currently pursuing my it's called a LAC, licensed addictions counselor. um, and so like basically you work so many hours with people doing you know interviews and things like that, and it's to help them with their addiction. And then you, at the end of it all, you take a test, and then when you pass it, you be licensed in that state. And then of course when you move states, like if I were to move wherever to North Dakota, I'd have to take that test the North Dakota test to be licensed in that state. But yeah, it's just like, just the person where, I don't know, you get in trouble, or you get caught smoking weed at work, or you get a DUI and you have to go take a drug and alcohol evaluation. Well, it's those individuals that give those evaluations and then also do the counseling part of it.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. That's interesting.
So yeah, that's kind of what my educational background is in. I have an associate's in psychology, I have an associate's in chemical addiction studies, and my bachelor's degree is in social work. And yeah, that's something, that, I mean, obviously the dream and the goal is to do stand up full time, which I'm kind of doing right now. For the past, since May of this year is when my last day of work for the Fort Peck tribes were. I was working for them for 5 years, for the 5 years prior to this, since like, I don't know what my math is, like 2017 or whenever that is. But since then I was working for them up until May. Then May company, and I ventured out, and it's been going good so far. It's allowed me more time to focus on my craft, which is stand up comedy, and write material and try to get shows. Because when I go into these different communities, sometimes it's not only stand up comedy. Sometimes they want to talk about healing or trauma, or just these things like that, addiction, that these things that are very prevalent in Indian country and on reservations and things like that. So just bringing that conversation to the people, and then at the end of it, have a healing session, and like you said earlier, laughter is one of the best ways to do that. um, so yeah, that in a nutshell, that's kind of what I got my nose into now. So
Sweet, man. That's cool. Like you have a educational background and you do comedy and like, dude, that's awesome.
well, that's the message that I want to send to my kids, because uh, knowledge is power, man, like any way you cut it.
Yeah,
So that's something that I'll always have, that no one can ever take away. That's, and I've honestly used it to, I've used it to set up my company. And, I don't think people really understand the importance of that. Like that's just the world we live in today, man. Like when you have that educational background, so many more doors are open to you. Even if, God forbid, the my comedy thing didn't work out, I could still go to work at any for any, shoot, anywhere in the human services, man. I can get a job, just with that, those my educational background. So like, it's like you can't really lose going to school, and especially all of the opportunities that are available to natives, like back in my state in Montana. If you're a enrolled member of a federally recognized tribe, um, you like tuition, or I forget what the percentage is, but it's a big percentage of your school tuition at a state university is waived. Like, you don't have to pay that. So like, where some people end up graduating and they got like a $40,000 bill, or they got student loans for whatever, 50,000, 60,000. When I graduated, I had no debt at all. And that's one of the perks of like being enrolled, like all the educational opportunities, all the grants out there, the scholarships that are available to you. And some people do try to utilize that, and they do utilize it, right for it and get it. And then they don't complete it, and they end up having to pay it back. And it's like, man, why don't you just finish, And um,
yeah,
but no, like, going to school is tough, man. It is. It's especially when you got kids. Me and my wife, she has her bachelor's degree in social work also, and we both were going to school while we were raising kids and having kids and all of that. And it was just, like, that's like going to school by itself without any of that is hard enough. Then when you add kids, oh my god. Then when you add just regular life, oh my god, bills don't stop. It's like, man. But if you can weather the storm and get through it, it's so worth it, man. It's that's part of life is sacrifice. For anything worthwhile, anything you want to have in your life, you got to sacrifice, man.
Yeah, all that hard work will pay off in the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So where did your middle name come from? Beef. Your
So
how'd that start about?
I'm a junior. My dad is Donovan Dwayne Archambault, junior, or senior. I'm junior. My nickname, Beef. That's I was just a really huge kid when I was born, and my dad called me Beefcake. Like when I was a newborn, all the way up till I was like 1 or whatever, and then it got shortened down to Beefy with a Y, and now that was all the way through high school, and then it got chopped down in high school to Beef, and it's been that way ever since. And that's how I introduce myself. That's how I, because like, you know, everyone calls my dad Donovan. Nobody, well, the people that know me, my friends and family, they all know me as Beef, and that's what they call me. And so when you hear someone call me Donovan, it's like that's a kind of an indication they either haven't known me that long or they don't know me that well. Because everyone that knows me, like they all call me Beef.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Beef, sweet man. Yeah, dude. So how you liking the weather out here?
It's not too bad. It ain't like when I was down here before. I was down here a few years ago. Um, I forget what that program was. It was like native, urban native, or no. But anyways, it was in the daytime. It was like 114 degrees, man. It was like crazy.
Yeah, that was all like past 2 weeks ago. It was like in the 110s and 115s.
That's stupid heat, man. Just no reason, man.
Yeah, especially when you work outside like I do. So yeah, dude, it sucks.
What do you do outside?
I have my own detailing company. It's called Llama Detailing. So I do automotive detailing.
Oh hell yeah, man. That's bad. That's badass, dude. How long you been doing that?
I've been I've been doing the detailing part for 14 years, and it's been about 5 years since I started my little own company.
Yeah, yeah. How's it going for you? If you don't mind me asking. If it's like, whatever, you don't have to answer that.
Yeah, it's going good. I mean, I'm busy like every day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes I'll work on Saturdays, but that's rarely. But I'm
Hell yeah.
always busy Monday through Fridays.
Oh, that's cool, man. I love that for you that you have your own company. Like that's what we need more of. We seem like it's like we're raised like this. Like we have this mentality that we can't make it unless we go to work for somebody, and we have to learn that like no, you don't. You could find out what your gift is, what your craft is, and you can make it on that. But you got to find whatever that is, that passion in life, man, or just the ability to work for yourself, even if it's not a passion, just that working for yourself part. Like, I love that for you, man.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I'd have known
appreciate
that,
that.
I would have drove my vehicle all the way down here just so I could help your business out.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Whenever you get the chance, like, come through.
Hell yeah, man. If I'm ever down here driving, I'll book an appointment.
Hell yeah, dude. Appreciate that. And yeah, and I also own the Naquatsvini Skateboarding, which is a Hopi skateboarding brand, the first of its kind for my tribe, which is Hopi.
Yeah, yeah. And so that does like, do you make skateboards or?
Yeah, I make skateboards with Hopi designs and T-shirts, hats, like
Yeah,
everything.
that's cool,
Yeah,
man. That's what we need more of. We need more native entrepreneurs, more natives out there doing their thing. Because here's the thing about natives, man. Like we're everywhere. We are all over the place, man. Like people, and we're starting to, we're starting to make that known. We're starting to rise, not like revolution. We're not, trying to, get all radical or anything like that. But like, no, man, like we've, because back in the day, it was like, you know, natives were kind of, tucked away in the corners and kind of just out of the big screen and, things like that. But like now, there's this girl from Fort Peck. She was just over in London promoting that movie Prey. Remember, it's about Predator and
Oh,
it's those natives. Yeah, well,
yeah.
she's from Fort Peck, man. She was on Good Morning America. Um, just things like that. Like there's natives all over, man, and they're in the mainstream now, and it's just really cool to see that. Like and I think in the future it's gonna start being more and more. Like we're gonna see more and more of that, and that's really how you normalize that. There's just the more you see it, the more it becomes a norm. People get used to it, and people are, start to know and start to understand the beauty of our culture, of our ways, of who we are. um, but yeah, man, that's just you got Ashley Collingbull. She's our host for tomorrow night. First native to be on Sports Illustrated. Yeah, man. Like that's cool. She was Miss Universe 2015. Like, dude, that's making waves, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool seeing like our native people like rising up and showing that we're still here and that we're not going anywhere. Like
We ain't going anywhere.
we're making moves big time.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
And also go to show like no matter where you're from, like even you're from like the reservation or like you can still make it out. And that's something that's wrong with people's mentality nowadays. It's like, oh, I live here and I won't be able to amount to nothing. And that's like the mindset that people need to get out of.
Well, that mindset's almost cultivated, and it's a sad thing to say, but sometimes it's by the support, and it's like when you hear over and over that that's not gonna work, go do something else, get a real job, do this, typically that's not from strangers, that's from people we know, that's from like friends or family or something like that. So when like as we start to progress here, that's we're starting to see more and more of that, like people coming up starting to believe in themselves, starting to know that like, hey man, it don't matter where I'm from. And people like Ashley and Superman. I don't know if you know Superman. Chris Parrish is from up there in Montana too, but like like all these these big native stars in Indian country, like they do, man, they got humble beginnings, they come from housing projects and HUD homes and things like that, and was on food stamps and all that stuff growing up, man. But like where they're at today, that's um that's a testament to their hard work, their honing their craft, following their dreams, putting into work. And I think we're gonna start seeing more and more of that.
Yeah, especially with the new series that came out on Hulu, Reservation Dogs. Like pretty much that like set the stone. Like
No doubt, man.
that.
No doubt.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about acting?
Yeah, man, I have. I'm just too chicken to like audition. I don't know why. Because like I
That shit
see
cracks you up.
parts that were like, oh, I could probably try out for that or something. And then like when I don't know, when I like start the application or whatever, send a headshot and this information, like I'll start filling it out and then go, like, fuck, you're almost 40, man. You can't act. Just keep raising your kids. Let your kids act or something like that. But yeah, that's just my own self doubt.
So you've been doing comedy for 11 years now, and when was your first big break in the comedy?
Ooh, let me see here. Holy man, first big break. I'm gonna have to reflect on that one. I will say this. Tatanka Means is actually, his good friend of mine, man, is, a bro. He was the first guy I ever got on stage for to open. I opened for him in April of 2011, and when the first real big break I got, because like doing comedy, especially trying to get like paid gigs and stuff, it's tough when you first start out. Like you gotta know somebody, to get a real payday, and we're talking even like $500, man.
So what are you gonna do? You go into the escape room, or you still want to go eat some steak?
I want to eat. I'm a ribeye guy, man. Everywhere I go, I like to try out ribeyes and then judge them all. Like, yeah, that one was okay, or oh, that was really wicked.
Yeah. So now you got a big decision to make, or what?
Yes, that's dumb.
I mean, if you're a big steak guy, then it shouldn't be that hard to go get some steak.
According to our agent, this is one of the best steakhouses around. I don't even know where it's at. We're just supposed to meet downstairs. He sent me a message of their rules. It says no jerseys, no baggy shorts, no cutoff shirts, no. And I was like, damn. So like, no being Indian or what, man? Shoot.
No turquoise jewelry.
Yeah. No beadwork. Okay.
No medallion.
No kids from different fathers. All your kids got to have same dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Must be one fancy steakhouse.
I guess. Holy, they must be gonna like kill it and butcher it right in front of us, and then ask us how we want it.
Fuck.
That sucks.
A hibachi grill right in front of you.
Yeah, hey, those are pretty cool, man. We have I think there's two back home in Billings, and there's one in Williston that we go to. But those guys, man, I tried some of that. That's tough. You ever try to throw an egg up and then catch it like how they catch it? I tried that, man. I broke a lot of eggs.
I gotta try that.
I mean, just to see if I could, because like you see it, and anything you see, like there's that little part in your head that goes, man, I can do that shit. And then you try it out, like, oh, fuck, that's hard, man.
Yeah. Have you tried the tortilla challenge?
Yeah, I mean, my wife did that. It was horrible. It looked like it looked like I beat the shit out of her with that tortilla, but like it was just the sound. It was really it was deceivingly loud. Like I didn't hear that hard, but in the video, I was like, whoosh, like.
Yeah. Is that on your Instagram or TikTok? You got TikTok or your Facebook? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I did see it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that shit was funny. How do you convert your ideas into jokes? Like, where do you get your material from?
Man, honestly, it's just it's just life. That's where all my material comes from. Is like my own experience, my own views on life, on marriage. Like I said, man, when you've been with the same person 15 years, you got 3 kids. Like, there's a lot of comedy in that, and that's where I get a bulk of my stuff. And then being native in America today, like there's a lot of comedy in that too. A lot of things natives can relate to, like that's easy, man. That's the easy part. Just all of that, piecing it together, making it flow right, and then just trying to relate to the people, just trying to make the audience feel, man. When you can do that, shoot, the rest is all downhill.
Yeah. And during your sets, do you work the crowd?
Yeah, like that's always been a different artists have their styles, and that's always been one of my things. Was like I've always enjoyed that crowd work because I don't know, like just talking to people, that's my thing. I love to talk to people. And when you talk to people long enough, you'll find out like you guys have something in common. You know, you guys have more in common than you do not. Um, and you just got to find that thing. You know, like married people or people with kids, man. Like I could talk to those people all day, man, just about shared experiences and things that again that you can relate to them about. Um, so yeah, that's kind of it's easy. Um, that part's easy.
Eat some good steak.
I'm getting a ribeye. I don't care what else is there. I'm getting a ribeye. I'm not even looking at the menu. I'm gonna tell that guy, hey, just shut up. Go get me a ribeye.
How do you like your steak? Medium, well done,
Medium.
rare?
You can't get a ribeye well done. You should people like that should be banned from restaurants, man.
Are you the type of guy that use A1 sauce too?
Nope. Nope. All
Nope.
flavor.
Because I heard like if you use like A1 sauce or some type of sauce to dip your steak in, like it offends the chef that's cooked the steak.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I always thought about that. Like, what is this guy just peeking out of some magic window watching you take a bite? Like, oh, that fucker put A1 on it.
Shit, man. Yeah, dude, it's fucking funny. During your sets, like, do you get hecklers?
I haven't really, man. There's been a couple shows where like people have gotten loud because like people drink at some of the shows.
Yeah.
Well, like tomorrow, there's I believe alcohol is going to be served, and so like you get some people that get kind of loud and start trying to like talk over you and whatever, and so like those people, there's really one or two ways of dealing with them. You either don't give them attention and they just kind of die out and peter out, or you give them all the attention and there's a hell of a lot of comedy in that. Like, yeah, they'll just sit there and like make a fool of themselves. They're easy to roast. Um, so like that can, but I've never had a really bad one. But yeah, the drunk ones, those are the ones that like to talk sometimes. But I mean, so far it's all been manageable, knock on wood.
Yeah, that's good. What's the biggest crowd that you performed in front of?
You know, I honestly don't know. I think in over we did a feature, a Native American comedy jam, um, over in Federal Way, Washington, and I don't know what that venue holds. I think it's like 1,000 or 1,100 or something, and that place was near capacity. Like it was pretty full. And that was a pretty big crowd. Like you imagine like a theater size almost. That's kind of what it looked like. It was like a theater. Um, and they had balcony levels and
Oh,
it was,
damn.
yeah, man. And then so where the front row started, there was actually a lot of room between there and the stage. So they put more chairs in. They put like 3 extra rows of chairs in, and they had people all the way up to the like if I would have fell off stage, I would have landed in somebody's lap. Like that's how close they were to the stage. Um,
Wow.
but yeah, man, that was pretty crazy. And actually, our last show had like 900 and some people there. The show before that had about 400 people there. Tomorrow night, there's going to be 1,400 people there. I think next weekend we're going to be in Oklahoma City uh, with Tatanka and myself. And I think that one's a comedy club. That might be a little smaller, like maybe 200 to 300. Um, but those rooms are fun too, man. Like those really small rooms. I mean, heck, coming up, I mean, I've done shows for 5 people before, man. Like no lie. Um, those are the humbling ones, man.
Yeah, man. Wow, it's pretty cool seeing you come this far from 5 people to almost 2,000 people.
Yeah, man, and growing, still growing.
Yep. Have you always been funny your whole life? Like as a little kid? How was your childhood?
I've always liked to raise hell, man. Like I've always liked to, there's something intoxicating about making somebody laugh, and especially making a group of people laugh. And I found that out at a young age. I think I was in kindergarten when me and this kid had the same toy, and we got it in McDonald's. But like it was a little pop-up Mario, like it was a Mario, Mario and Luigi from Nintendo. Um,
Yeah.
well, they McDonald's had some promotion, they were giving those away, and anyways, in my Happy Meal, I got that toy, not realizing that everyone else from my town, every other little boy went to McDonald's and probably got that same toy. Well, I brought mine to school one day, and I lost it. And then pretty soon I seen him have one. And I was like, hey, man, that's mine, And then I called him a name because I tried to grab it and he wouldn't give it to me. And I called him a name and like I screamed it. I don't even remember what name I called him, but um, the whole the whole class laughed, and I was like, "Whoa!" First time I ever like felt anything like that, or like seen any realize the power of laughter. I mean, albeit at that guy's expense. And then afterward, I actually found my toy in my desk, like it wasn't even mine, So I found mine, but no, like I don't know. Just from then on, I was always kind of a knothead and a clown, and you know, say the wrong thing at the right time, and um, yeah, that's just what it was, man.
Damn, well, that's funny when something happens like that. Like you think you lost someone and somebody took it, then after a while you finally find it and you're like, oh shit. And you just start like, damn, I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah, I felt pretty stupid, but then I was like, whatever.
He'll get over it. Has humor helped cope with struggles?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Um, I think that's really the trick and the key to comedy. Like, I guess I should say that's the brilliance of comedy. Um, it's one of the most healthiest outlets to express that hurt, that pain, the struggle, whatever it is you're going through. And I think long time ago our native people understood that. It was when someone got too big or too big headed, they would tease them and make fun of them and laugh at them, and it was kind of their way of bringing that person back down to, like off their high horse, and that was their way of humbling that guy. Like, hey, humble yourself. You're getting too, you think you're too whatever, and like not only that, but like in your own personal life when you're going through stuff and you can laugh at it like later on, even though it might not be funny at the time. Like if it's an abusive relationship, there's a lot of couples out there that go through that, man. And they keep it hush hush, so when we get on stage and we talk about that kind of stuff, um and they laugh at it, they can, that's kind of their, can be used as a form of healing for them. Like right now, there's this, this kind of this big controversy, man, about when they put that headdress on the Pope. Like a lot of
Yeah,
people were taken by that, like really kind of distraught and hurt and offended, and like Uh, I guess I see both sides in that. Like number one, that dude, I agree. Like he of all people that deserve a headdress, like he's not at the top of the list, man. That's just my own, but I also understand the gesture and who was doing it. That was a residential school survivor, and the things that happened to those people. Um, I got a dad that went to boarding school. My dad's 83 years old, and he's got stories, man. He's got stories of what actually happened in those schools, things that he's seen, that he's experienced, and that was done to them by those people. Those nuns and those priests and things like that. And again, I say this not to offend anybody, not to just to shed some light on truth. So the guy that gave the Pope that headdress, that was up there they call it residential school. Down here we call it boarding school, but it's the same thing. It's a place to it's a place to colonize Indians, okay, and convert them over. Kill the Indian, save the man. I'm sure you know the story of all that. Anyway, like it's the same thing. So the guy that presented that headdress was a residential school survivor. Now I get that part of it. I get that. That's how his healing. To shake hands with his perpetrator and to like I understand that's the first step. That is the first step in releasing all of that. That's the first step in trying to bridge the gap between these two things. But also I understand the other side of it too. Like, but if you can, you can try to make a joke out of that, poke around and prod or whatever. Like if you make people laugh about that, in a classy way or whatever. I think part of that will, that's helping them to understand too, that like it's been acknowledged, all of the stuff that has happened in those schools, like it's been brought to the surface, it's been acknowledged. Healing will take a while, but this is a step towards that. Laughing about it is a step towards that healing, about letting go. Because here's what happens. If you hang on to that stuff for too long, you keep it bottled up, you don't talk about it, and you just stay bitter and resentful, that stuff will start to come out of you in toxic ways, whether it's in your relationship or the way you parent your kids, or, through some addiction or whatever. Like it will eat you alive. And, talking about it, laughing about it, whatever, giving away a headdress, those are all healing ways. That was just his way of doing that. And unfortunately, like 90% of Indian country didn't back him up, but that's the way it is, that's kind of a personal thing for him. And I respect that. Like, I get that. I don't think it's my place to, tear the guy down or whatever. Like, is it what I would have done? No, probably not. But again, that, we all have different walks, man. And for us to pass judgment on somebody else's walk, I don't think is my place, but that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people are definitely like
offended,
mad about offended about what happened. But then, like, coming from your point of view, it's just like that was his way of showing respect to, I guess, his tribe, and like trying to, I guess, like forgive or however you want to say it. But like you said, 90.
And I don't even think it was like in terms of respect, like yeah, that probably, there was probably some of that in there, but I mean, like more so, I think. Because again, knowing, like, I didn't know the guy who gifted him that or who gave him that. Like, he was a residential school survivor. That really, and honestly, like, I don't feel qualified to make a remark about somebody that hasn't gone through that. Like he has. Like, he knows what those schools are about. He knows the things that have happened to him. And if that's how he wants to close that chapter in his life and start to make amends, and by golly, man, I'm all for it. Even if it offends, my fellow people, like that's kind of what I talk about on stage too. Like that's the tough thing about being Native, is like sometimes we don't always agree on stuff, but people gotta like stop drawing that line of separation. Like, you believe that and we believe this, and it's like, no, man, why can't you just support somebody else's, right to be who they are, to do what they do? Like, you don't have to agree with it. We can agree to disagree and still have things be okay. But a lot of people don't understand that. They have this like black and white mentality where it's like, it's either all or nothing. It's either that or it's this. You're either with us or against us. And it shouldn't be like that,
Yeah, that's what's going on in the country right now. Everybody's being divided by left and right and all this bullshit, and it's just ridiculous. Like, we're all one people. Like,
yeah, that's the thing too, man, is like, getting everyone to like, be on the same page, or it's just that mentality of, it's like you're either with us or you're against us.
Yeah.
Because there's people where I have my own beliefs on something and they believe something else, and that's, like I got friends that are Trump supporters. They voted for Trump, they support Trump, they're native, and it's like, wow, even though I don't, like, I still talk to them, we still hang out, we still whatever, we just don't see eye to eye on that, and it ain't like I have this like, you did what? You voted for Trump. Oh, fuck, we can't be friends no more. We can't talk no more. We can't. It's like there's too much of that already going on. Like, I don't need to add to that, like that's part of being who we are, is the right to believe what you want to believe, man. Like that's the tough part about being native, man, is we don't always agree on stuff.
Yeah, and also just like think for yourself, man. Have that common sense to know what's right and wrong.
For
A lot of people lost their common sense in the past 2 years with everything that's been going on.
Yeah, it's crazy world out there, man. But I think progressively as a whole, I think we're moving in the right direction. Like we were talking about earlier, man, like it's it's a great, there's never been a better time to be native, man. Like, there's natives on the rise, man. We're everywhere. So like I said, like in the holistic view of things, I think we're going in the right direction. But I'm an optimist. I like to see things, the glass is always half full.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Like, we are going in the right direction as native people because, like, shit, man, we're getting TV shows and, like, we're just getting out there. And like you said, we're not going anywhere. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I don't even know what happened.
I don't know. I think it turned off at an hour. Got tired of us talking.
I know, right? I just hope it saved, man. That's what I'm worried about.
We might have to do that whole thing again. But hey, I gotta actually start kind of wrapping it up here. I gotta run downstairs real quick, and then I gotta start getting ready for this. We're going to that the dinner where you can't wear jerseys and stuff.
Yeah. All right, let me ask you one more question. That cool?
You bet, man.
How does it make you feel to share the same stage as with these awesome comedians such as Tony Joe Hall, Casey Nicholson, the Means? How does it feel?
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Those are my brothers and sisters standing up there doing what they love. And I couldn't be more in my glory, man. Like I have a lot of respect for those guys. I look up to those guys, especially Tatanka, since he's taller than me. And I get to do that, man. Like I live a very blessed life in getting to share the stage with those guys. And I give thanks for that every single day, man.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Yeah, dude. So again, I appreciate you coming on to the podcast. This is the Northwestern Skateboarding Podcast. This is season 2. So you're definitely episode 1 of season 2. So hell yeah, bro.
Hell yeah, man. Well, thanks for having me, man. And I hope to see you tomorrow night. You said you got some tickets. Yeah, man. It's gonna be a good time. Thanks again for having me.
Yeah, dude.
On those on your businesses, man, and all your ventures and your preneurs, all of that stuff, man. Keep doing it. I love that stuff, man.
Hell yeah, dude. I appreciate that a lot, man.
Will do, brother. I'll see you tomorrow. Doksha.
All right, man. Thank you. Cool. Over the past weekend, they had a native comedy jam over at the Wild Horse Pass Casino. And I have to admit, that comedy show was pretty funny. If you guys haven't seen Donovan, Beef, Archambault, Tanya Joe Hall, or any of the native comedics that we got today, I suggest that you guys go check out one of their shows or all their shows, because I'm not gonna lie, like their stand-up comedy is funny, dude. They'll get you laughing, and you'll definitely have a good time. So it was fun meeting Donovan over the weekend, and also everybody that was in the comedy show. It was fun. I went with my nephew, took him over there. We had a good time, had our laughs. I got to meet them afterwards, which was cool. So if you guys haven't been to a native comedy jam, I suggest that you guys go check it out because they're funny. This is my first time being at a comedy show, like a very like an actual comedy show. If that makes sense. I mean, back in high school, they had James and Ernie come to the high school to perform for everybody. I mean, that's the closest I would get to a comedy show. So I guess you would say this is my second time being at a comedy show. Not too sure. But the first one, they came and they performed for us, and it was a free show. But this was the one where I actually was trying to find tickets for. And luckily, somebody came through with some tickets because the tickets were already sold out. That's how popular these guys are, and that's pretty awesome. Natives supporting natives in the things that they do. So yeah, luckily somebody was selling 2 tickets, and I caught 2 of them because the day before, I found out that there was a comedy show going on down here, and it was them, and I was like, oh shit. So I went to the website to see if there were still tickets available, but they were completely sold out. So I was like all bummed out, but luckily somebody came through with some tickets. They were selling because nobody, I guess some of their family members couldn't make it, so I snagged 2 tickets from them, so it all worked out. And that weekend, that Saturday, it was pretty funny. So yeah, I suggest that if you guys ever hear of the Native Comedy Jam or any Native comedic going to your city or wherever, your res, your village, I suggest that you guys check them out and support them because they're out here doing it. So yeah, man. So a big thank you, a big kwakwe to Donovan for hopping on the podcast. So that's all I got for you on this episode. Until next time, make sure y'all go like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Follow us on the What's Mini Skateboarding on Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify. Kwakwa. So that's all I got for you today on this episode. Please do me a favor and share the podcast. And if you want to support What's Mini Skateboarding and the podcast, don't forget to head over to our YouTube channel, click that subscribe button, like the videos, and comment. Those quick and easy things really do help us to reach more people. Also, don't forget to visit us on our website at squareup.com/skateboarding for the latest Naquatsmini apparel, such as shirts, skateboards, hoodies, hats, grip tape, stickers, and more. Until next time, y'all have a good one. Fuck for listening.